They're going around playing you and laughing at you behind your back, Brad. Whether you know it or not, they're laughing at you. And you've taken a state that's a Republican state, and you've made it almost impossible for a Republican to win because of cheating. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes. So what are we going to do here, folks? I only need 11,000 votes. Fellas, I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break.
It's been just over 3 years since the infamous phone call in which Donald Trump pushed the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, to, quote, flip the state electoral results by finding those votes. Since then, Trump has been indicted by Fulton County, Georgia District Attorney Fani Willis, along with 18 others in a wide-ranging racketeering case. Now, so far, 4 of those co-conspirators, you see them there, have taken guilty pleas. But if or when Donald Trump sees the inside of a court himself, at least in Fulton County, is very much up in the air. Joining now is Michael Isikoff. He's the chief investigative correspondent for Yahoo News, the co-author of the new book on Trump's attempts to steal the election in Georgia, titled Find Me the Votes, a hard-charging Georgia prosecutor, a rogue president, and the plot to steal an American election, which is out today. Great to have you here, Mike.
Great to be with you.
Let's start on the Fani Willis stuff happening right now, which is, I'm not quite sure what to make of it, and I don't, there's both sort of establishing the factual record, which seems a little opaque still, whether there was any impropriety, and then fundamentally if there's like a legal issue that will affect the case.
Right.
What's your reason?
So look, my co-author Dan Kleinman and I spent a lot of time talking to Fani Willis. We had multiple interviews. We spent hours talking to her and people around her. She is unquestionably a talented prosecutor. She was the star litigator in the Fulton County District Attorney's Office for years. And she's, extremely talented, professional attorney, but she's made some missteps here. We talk in the book about one of them when she sponsored a fundraiser for a friend of hers who was running against one of the targets of the investigation. That led to the judge saying, what do you think? This was a what were you thinking moment. It's fair to say the Nathan Wade relationship is another what were you thinking moment. It was a misjudgment and a mistake by her. I think she'll acknowledge that. But that said, taking a step back, let's remember, this had absolutely no impact on the case whatsoever. It didn't deny any defendants their constitutional rights. It didn't show prejudice in the bringing in any aspect of the case.
Right.
She's going to file a response this Friday. I'm expecting a quite vigorous response in which she will challenge at least some of the allegations out there. And, we'll see where it's settled. But I'll be surprised if the Judge McAfee, ends up granting this motion or disqualifying her for simply the lack of any impact on the case at all.
Right. That seems the sort of threshold is a legal issue in terms of the case, in terms of her removal. One of the fascinating bits of reporting in your book is about the actual person that recorded that infamous phone call.
Yeah.
A phone call that I have to say, even as we played it just now, is shocking every time you hear it because it is so over the line, even as it pretends to not be over the line. Find me the votes, flip it, I have the cheating. Tell me about who the person is that
Yes.
that.
This is one of the unheralded stories of the 2020 election battle. Just to set the stage here, Brad Raffensperger was the Secretary of State. Trump and his team are adamant about pressuring Raffensperger to alter the results of the election. Mark Meadows, the White House Chief of Staff, contacts Raffensperger's chief of staff, a young woman, 30-year-old, Jordan Fuchs, Republican consultant, strategist who was hired as the chief of staff and had been with Raffensperger through all the turmoil after the election.
And just to be clear, just to set a context here, you're the chief of staff of the Georgia Secretary of State. You're not getting the President of the United States chief of staff calling you. Like, that's a big thing when that happens.
Well, they were trying to contact Raffensperger repeatedly, but he didn't want to touch them because they're in litigation. Trump is suing them, right?
It's completely improper.
And Jordan Fuchs knows the danger for Raffensperger to get on the phone with Donald Trump, who has a habit of distorting anything that would get said in that phone call. And she, on her own, makes the decision, unilateral decision. She's going to tape the call. She's on the phone call, but you never hear her voice. She put herself on mute. She didn't tell Raffensperger she was taping it. She didn't tell Meadows she was taping it. She didn't tell Trump that she was taking it. One problem that arose after this, the tape went wild is that she happened to be in Florida at the time, visiting her grandparents, and Florida is a two-party consent state. So she was risking potential criminal prosecution in Florida. Now, I don't think that's ever going to happen because, among other things, there's an exemption for law enforcement, and the Secretary of State's office is a law enforcement agency. But the bottom line here is she's never spoken about this, but she did when called before the grand jury, was given immunity and acknowledged she taped the call. It was the single gutsiest and most consequential act of the entire post-election battle. And it's all because this one young woman, Republican consultant, on her own, made the decision to do it.
30-year-old chief of staff. She's in Orlando, right? Her grandparents?
Yeah.
So in the moment, she decided she would protect the boss, Raffensperger. When the White House switched would patch the president's shoe, she put herself on mute without telling Raffensperger or Meadows. She taped the call, which is why we have that infamous call.
Yeah.
One of the other aspects you're reporting I think is really crucial is the security story around Fani Willis. And the reason it's so crucial is we know, and I know, anyone who comes into Trump's crosshairs faces an enormous security problem. Often they can't and don't want to talk about it that much publicly because it doesn't really help your security problem.
Right.
You do some real reporting on what Fani Willis's life looks like now.
It was pretty horrendous, far worse than anybody knew. Look, Trump was riling up his people, throughout this entire investigation, calling her a Marxist, a radical, a racist, anything that would get people riled up to attack her. And she's getting subjected to these just awful threats against her, against her family. We talk about one, computer disguised call to her cell phone in which the guy is bringing up her daughters and saying he knows where they live and they're in danger.
This is a phone call on her personal cell phone.
On her personal cell phone.
Talking about Willis's two daughters.
Right, exactly. Okay, let's cut to what I think is one of the most dramatic stories of this whole saga. The night of the indictment, she announces at a midnight press conference, and they just learned that there was an assassination threat. The best time to shoot her is when she leaves the building. Fani Willis goes back to her office, takes off her business suit. This is after the press conference. Takes off her pearls, puts on sweats, a baseball cap, and then a body double puts on Willis's suit and leaves. Willis is smuggled out the back of the building to an undisclosed location.
All that can be found in Find Me the Votes, co-authored by Michael Isikoff and Daniel Kleiman. You can find that in bookstores and online right now. Michael, thank you so much.